Hey everyone, it is Not John again with another video. Not John. Welcome to my channel. It is my channel. It's my channel, B. Get out of here. I'm going to try to do a video here in the living room today. It might be a little hard because this guy is going to keep getting into it. Anyways, today's a cosplay video. I wanted to break out my old GreenArrow cosplay. It has been a while. It is a cosplay from the season 2 of the show. But before we get into that, I wanted to get into a little bit of backstory. A bit of backstory here, and I will put a warning on. The series and the show do differ. Now, the comic series, there's been a few different adaptations of this. It's a rough overview, and most people, this is a rough overview, so it kind of covers both sides of the story without getting into dates or anything like that. So, in general, it is known that Oliver Queen is a playboy millionaire, loves to party, stuff like that. He is a son of Queen Industries, which is the company that his parents own and run. He becomes shipwrecked on an island. This does differ between the two. Some is a fishing trip. Some is a party boat. Different things like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to give you the island's name because different versions, it's different things. And I want you to go out, maybe read the comics, maybe even watch the series, stuff like that. Because I want to do cosplays in the future, and every time I'm going to give you a rough overview of the character, but not getting really into them because I want you to be inspired enough to go watch the source material or go read the source material, stuff like that. So, once, Oliver Queen gets shipwrecked, like I said, he is on the coast of a Japanese island in most of the iterations. It's not Japan, but it's generally an island off the coast of Japan or in another Asian country. So he spends a lot of his time there. He learns a lot of different skills, fighting, archery, survival, different things like that. So once Oliver Queen gets back to civilization, more specifically his city, he decides to take on a vigilante moniker of GreenArrow. In the show, it takes him a little longer to get to GreenArrow, goes through a few different types of names. In this comic series, it's a little bit quicker. It just depends on what you're watching. Like what you could assume, GreenArrow looks a lot like Robin Hood in many iterations, and that's kind of what he does. He goes after corrupt politicians, businessmen, businesswomen, and everything like that. So many times he will go and steal money. Sometimes he gives it to the poor. Sometimes he just uses it as leverage to get more information on the big bad guy. Many of his skills that he learns on the islands, like I said before, were archery, hand-to-hand combat, different things like that. So, as you can assume, being called the GreenArrow, he has a vast amount of different arrows, trick arrows, normal arrows, broadheads, different things like that. And I'm not going to get into specifics on that of all of his different ones, but some are bombs, some are like nets, a lot of versions have a punching glove, like a boxing glove, and things like that. Eventually, he takes on a sidekick. His name is Speedy. In the show, occasionally he is called the Red Hood. Just different names for the same person. I personally love Speedy as a sidekick. I think he goes through different kind of growth moments. He's very similar to the Red Hood. If you know anything about him, I'll let you go and discover that on your own, though, because I'm not going to give you all the details that you need. So, as you can tell, he does have a sidekick. So as you can tell, he has a sidekick. So he does kind of take on this Batman-esque arc. But many superheroes do have sidekicks. Now, What differs from him to Batman is that he's very quippy. He's a smart talker, kind of similar to Spider-Man, I would say, but DC. Kind of a perfect balance between the two. Obviously, a billionaire when it comes down to it, so there is a lot of privilege. And obviously, he's a white man, so there's even more privilege. In the TV series, though, he does take on more of a Batman role, very serious, very dark, very secretive, different things like that, which kind of leads into the whole people liked Batman a lot at the time of the show, so they kind of didn't want to do Batman, but they kind of did, so they kind of changed his character a little bit from the comics. Now, personally, one of my favorite versions of Green Arrow is the Injustice Green Arrow. You can play both of the games, read the comics. It's a short, 2 very short run comics that are very fun. You also get to meet Black Canary. You get to see Harley Quinn be a hero for a little bit and very close to Black Canary and Green Arrow, and eventually gives his Arrow Cave the better name of the Quiver. Okay, so at this point, I in the future plan to kind of go shopping with you guys and show you what I'm picking for these cosplays and such. But kind of already have the whole costume, and instead of going through and kind of buying everything again, like fake buying everything, I'm just going to skip this part for now, and we will go ahead and start going through the suit. I will warn you, a lot of it has been in storage, so it's kind of dirty, so you might get a cleaning montage. The other thing that I would like to do in the future is train like the character. Different characters that I like, do martial arts, this one archery, different things like this. Now, personally, I did trick shot archery for about 3 or 4 years in college, and I loved it. It was a lot of fun. I have a fun story about actually getting an arrowhead in my eye. Can still fully see out of the eye, though. It's super great. If you want to know more, comment below, and maybe I'll do a little short one-off video describing that experience. But I could not find any of my targets. I moved a few times since I've done trick shot archery. It's been a couple years. I'd probably just make a fool of myself anyways. So I decided we won't train like the character today, but we'll go ahead and start going through the costume. So beside me here, you can see that I have all of my stuff. First off, we will go through the gloves. They are fingerless gloves. I will tell you right now, at one point I did cosplay at a Comic-Con with this, and I did cool gloves, but to be a little bit more authentic, I went with these. It's a little bit easier to feel the string and feel the arrows when you actually want to kind of do some trick shot archery in the suit. So instead, I went with these. I also use them for a Kakashi cosplay as well, and you might see that here coming up in the next couple months. All right, now the pants. Now, I love the pants, like this leather, so it's kind of stretchy. You got like nice zippers here that don't really go to anything. So it does kind of make cons a little hard because you don't have really anywhere to put like your phone and stuff. The jacket does have pockets, which make it a bit easier. But I did like the detail here. It's kind of nice going down. The only thing that I don't super love about it is that when I do put the boots on, some of this does get covered up, which kind of sucks. Quick little thing. This is the belt that goes along with it. I've never actually used the belt. You don't really see it, and I don't need the belt when I wear it. So, and I do want to point out that this was a bought cosplay. Most of mine were bought. I am not talented enough with a sewing machine to actually make my own cosplays, but I do like to buy cosplays, improve them in certain ways, buy different kind of ads. This one was bought on Etsy. I cannot remember the seller's name. I apologize, but if I can find it, I will link it below. Sorry, this is your cosplay costume that you made. Please comment. I will be interested and do a little shot. I'll add. This is the jacket. It is a multiple piece jacket. The hood actually comes off, where you can kind of get everything situated without the hood. And you got nice zippers back here where it's a little easier to get into them. You can zip them and then zip them up. Done. A lot of nice detail. And then you have the nice arrow on the back. Again, this is the season 2 version, so it might be a little bit different. It's a little different. This is probably my second favorite one from the TV series. My other one is, I believe, season 6. That one, my favorite. Eventually, I might get it and do another one, but for now, we'll show you this one. Now, this is not a cosplay bow. This is an actual bow. Generally, for cons, I leave it strung. It's just makes people a little bit less nervous. It is very dirty because it's been in my garage hanging up for a while. So we'll go ahead and get that cleaned up before we move on. And here's the quiver. Again, it was in my garage for a while because I did use this for a long time doing trick shot archery, not just costume. But it is for the costume. I like the way it fits. It actually is a pretty nice fit for a back quiver. Generally, a lot of people like side quivers, but I always like back quivers a lot. Side good back quiver. You shoot differently. I kind of show you maybe later how you shoot. Instead of shooting with your 3 fingers like this, you will pull and bring it down. Shoot upside down. It's a little different, but it's my preferred way to do it. And I never really saw a difference in shooting. Mostly your aiming that you have to look at. Shooting like that because it will force the bow to kind of do something different. Now, lastly, this season's suit, he used grease oil on his face to do his mask. I never thought that would be a very good way. I never thought masks were a very good way. So what I got instead was a face covering that matches the suit to go over my face, where instead you can't see down. Kind of nice because if I'm doing another cosplay where I have to shave or grow my beard out, I can still do this cosplay and have this. It's also nice because we are still, having a little bit of issues from the pandemic, and so it makes people feel a little bit nicer when you're going to cosplay and use a face covering and it still fits with your costume. Not close. So that is everything I have for the costume. I am going to go ahead and take a moment to clean up the quiver because the dust on the quiver, arrows, and my bow is already messing with allergies. So I'm going to go ahead and get that cleaned up so that I don't have an allergy attack when I come out, do the show you guys the cosplay and take a couple quick pictures, stuff like that. And all right, this is my GreenArrow cosplay. Got the bow. My quiver is definitely falling apart again. So I'm going to definitely have to do something with that. So we'll get a couple pictures and call it a day. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you like it. And there goes the quiver. So yeah, thank you again for watching and stick around. And I have a few pictures that I will edit and put up on my Instagram and for you here. Thank you again. And as always, have a good weekend.